right, welcome everybody. It is a Wednesday solo stream, but not with Devin, this time with Paul. Welcome. Excuse me, my voice was going there. Welcome. I am Paul, half of Dads and Dice, and yeah, we're here to do a solo gameplay. Let's make sure that all of this is working. What's up, Ken? Thank you for being here. I know you're excited for this one. I'm pretty excited for it as well. Awesome. Audio sounds good there. Cool. Yeah, so it is, like I said, a Wednesday. Devin is actually out of town. He is on a work trip. And I was lucky enough to have the night off tonight. My wife is at work. So that means that my daughter is actually at my parents' house just because we needed childcare for the day. So we are going to be doing a solo stream here of Peacemakers. Peacemaker. Horrors of War. What's up, Dennis? Thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. We'll give people just a little bit longer here to get in, and then we'll kind of explain the game. So yeah, I'm excited to do this one. I just recorded my review on it. So I've been playing this one quite a bit lately, doing a couple of scenarios, replaying some of the scenarios just to kind of get the hang of it. But this is actually going to be the first time that we're doing this scenario, so we'll see how we do on that. But let's go ahead and flip it over here, so that way you guys can see. There we go. So thank you for that. So what I was saying, one awesome thing about this game is the meeples. They're screen printed. They look super nice. Now, one unfortunate thing about this stream is that you actually won't really be able to see them in their full glory, because they do need to be standing because of these bases on here. And I'll get into how that works here in a little bit, but we'll just kind of show these off a little bit for you guys here. So here we have the Toko toucans. Here we have the ocelots. And then here we have the green iguanas. So they look very awesome. And you can see these bases are slightly different. So we have these gears here. We have these circular bases. And then we have these star bases here. And those just signify different groups of the armies, right? So these are the armies. We have units in the armies, and then there's different groups in the armies. Yes, Ken, the board is very nice. And after we get done with this, I'll kind of show you how it works, because it's actually just two booklets that are put together, and you just kind of flip them to the page. So very streamlined, very awesome, very quick setup for that. All right, so let's kind of get into the gameplay here. This is a cooperative game. It is a 1 to 4 player cooperative game. I've been doing two-handed solo on this one, just because that way you can see a little bit more cards and you can actually do the actions, or do all of the actions. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is a two-handed solo. So in Peacemakers, we are... I'll read it here for you. This is a cooperative game where you're trying to achieve peace between warring animal folk armies. The game has 6 unique scenarios. We are doing scenario 4 today, and each one presents a new challenging conflict for you to resolve. So what we're going to be trying to do is we are trying to find ways to lower these factions' motivation. So we have the toucans, we have the ocelots, we have the iguanas. They each start with a motivation here. What we're trying to do is lower their motivation into this green zone. Once their motivations are in those green zones, they are now ready for a peace talk or some type of treaty. It is also possible that one of these motivations goes all the way to this black spot here. If it reaches there, that means that that actual army is surrendering, and that means that the other side wins and we actually lose. So our purpose of the game isn't to help one side or the other. It's to prevent both sides from fighting. We're trying to bring peace to this area. Now, in this scenario specifically, we have these ocelots, which are these third animal folk army, and they're going to be switching alliances. So right now, they are currently allied with the iguanas. So if we ever have to lower their motivation, we'll be lowering the iguanas' motivation because that's who they are allied with right now. But based on these order cards here, they might switch alliances to the toucans, and then if they lose motivation or gain motivation, we will measure it with the toucan one here. Let's see. So this game is going to be played with these resource cards here. And at the beginning of the game, we're just going to have 2 resource cards. So I'll have 2 over here and 2 over here. We're going to be playing as these adventurers today. I don't know their names. I forget them. But we do have our polecat, and then we have our fennec fox. And if you're familiar with the Lands of Galzer game, they have these animals in those games too. So this does share the same universe. So you might see some animal folk that you see in those games, or maybe in Dale of Merchant Explorers. But they are similar animals here. So we're going to be playing as the polecat and the fennec fox. I'll keep the polecat will be on this side. The fennec fox cards will be on this side. They're actually going to be starting here on the board. But the cards for the polecat will be here and the fennec fox is over here. So we're going to be starting off with 2 cards. And these cards have different actions on them. And so I'll kind of explain how those actions work. So on the turn, we are going to be doing our adventurer phase first. And you can do one of 5 actions. The first thing that you can do is you can do this survey action. And a survey action allows you to look at an army's order cards. We are going to be manipulating these order cards in order to get these armies to do what we want them to do. So we might have them move back. We might have them retreat. We might have them not attack for the round. We might make their initiative a little bit quicker because we want them to go first, because they might be defending or they might be attacking a specific group. We might change which group is actually attacking. So this just kind of signifies us talking with that army and just saying like, hey, let's try this instead, right? So we're going to be manipulating these things. So this survey action is going to let me look at this order and see what move is coming or what they're going to be doing for their turn. We can actually move. So in order to survey these order cards, we have to be on a space with somebody from that army. So if my polecat here, well, they can't go there. That's an impossible spot, impassable spot. But if they go up here to that toucan, they would be with that nearby army. So then we'd be able to survey. We can also, this card doesn't have it, but another action is a fortification action. And with that, we'll be putting these cubes out on here. And that's basically just a defense for that space. After that, we can also delegate cards. So let's say that the polecat and the fennec fox are in the same spot. If I have a card that I think benefits the other player, you can just give them that card. If you watched Devin's pandemic live stream on Monday, it's basically the share information action. You're just passing cards amongst each other so that the person that can utilize it the best actually utilizes it. And then finally, you can do the scheme at the bottom. And the scheme is just some type of special ability. And why you might want to delegate is, for example, this card does better with the fennec fox. So if you are not the fennec fox, you can choose one nearby unit, move them back 1 space. If you are the fennec fox, you can do 2 nearby units and move them back a space. So you'll kind of want to see who gets the best benefit from those cards. We also have this horror deck over here. And this is war. So unfortunately, we are going to be seeing some casualties of war. Hopefully not, but we will possibly see some casualties of war. If we do, we are going to be adding some horror cards onto the resource deck here. And the horror cards are either ongoing or one-time effects that affect us in some way. So that is basically how you play our turn. After that, it's going to do the army phase. We're going to be resolving their order cards, and then we're just going to check to see if both factions are in the green. If they are, we win the game. If they're not, we continue playing. And that is the basics of Peacemakers. So first thing that we're going to do here, we'll go ahead and get started. Let me start my timer. I feel like that was kind of a lot. Hopefully that explanation was okay. If not, it will definitely make sense as we start playing it. And let's start this one, and there we go. All right, so I'll start with 2 cards over here, and this is all just open information, but this is our polecat, this is our fennec fox, and there's no real turns. You just kind of go whenever, and since we are starting in the same spot, this might be a good place to maybe start switching some cards, although it looks like there are 2 other characters. Both of these affect the bird. This one does affect the fennec fox, so we want to leave it there. And that one affects the bird as well. So like I said, I haven't played this scenario before, so I don't really know what these order cards bring. There is this secret order card. You can tell it kind of looks a little bit different than this one. We can't scheme this one. It is a secret, so we can't survey this one because it is a secret. Hey, Ian, thank you for joining me. Ian, you missed it. I had some audio troubles there. I was telling you, you got to check that stuff, and I had audio issues as well. Okay, so I'm going to have to move this forward a little bit so that I can actually move in. I didn't mention this, but every faction has a leader. The Toucan Knight's leader is this one here. He is the Toucan Knight. Looks pretty sweet. He's got a little charge going thing. The iguana's leader is this one here. Sir Chuamu. And then the ocelot's leader is Captain Washira. Washira, yeah, and that's this guy right here. Okay. Ken, it does sound like Final Girl, but it is nothing like Final Girl, I'll say that. Not nearly as bad. So I guess the first thing that we want to do is probably just start surveying some order decks. We don't necessarily need to do any fortifications or anything right now. This Fennec Fox is an improvised order, so it says flip the bottommost card face up from the nearby army's deck, place it on top or not if I'm the Fox, which I'm not. Let's move. So we're going to do 3 movement here with the Fox. And we're going to just move. It doesn't really matter, but we'll go into the Ocelots here. We'll discard this card. And then with this one, we're actually going to do this scheme. And it says flip the bottommost card face up from a nearby army's deck. Place it on top or not. Generally, the order decks, this one tells you kind of what they're going to be doing. Like, I think, if I remember correctly, I don't remember right off the top of my head, but it's kind of like this group will do this, or it's a special action like attack, something like that. And then this one tells you who's going to do it. So let's see what they're actually going to do. We're going to look at the bottom card here. We're going to flip it over. And this one says surprise. Roll the dice. This order's initiative is the dice. Ignore the right half. If this order has the highest initiative, we lose a motivation, and then the Ocelots switch sides. So I don't know if they will have the highest motivation. It's based on this die roll. What do these do? Play 2 fortifications, move any 1 card from a nearby army to any other position in the respective deck. This one is one that we just did. Okay, so let's scheme. We're going to do one movement with my polecat. Ian, they are very sweet meeples. Unfortunately, you don't get the full effect of them here because they do have to stand up just because of these bases, and we're going to be covering this with damage points and fortifications, so the board does get quite cluttered here. So we are nearby the toucans now, so we can actually survey this deck, not this one, but we can survey this one, and that's what we're going to do. So this says advance. Each circle toucan moves one space forward. This is a 5.9 initiative. And that's really all that we have right now. So we're going to see what their orders are going to be and go from there. So we did our adventure phase. We need to refresh. So we need to draw four new cards. And I'll just take 2 here and then take 2 there. And then we need to do the army phase. So we're going to flip all of these cards over. And then whoever has the highest initiative will go first. So initiative is done by these 2 numbers on the top there. So this is initiative of 9.7. This is an initiative of 13.5. That was a good roll. And this is an initiative of, let's see, it says toucans are secretive for this round. Place the left deck's topmost card face up on this discard pile. So the new card becomes the new left half of this order. So this is the new left half. If any toucan has taken wounds this round, 1 motivation. Otherwise, they gain a motivation, and then this is advance. So first things first, we're going to start with whoever has the highest initiative, which is the ocelots. So we're ignoring this half. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're ignoring the right half's initiative. So this is 10, this is 9, that's 6, so it's still the highest. We are going to lose a motivation. And then the ocelots are going to switch sides. So this will actually come over here. And in the rule book, I didn't read the scenario. I guess I should do that now. The ocelots are actually going to switch sides, and they're going to rotate now. And they're going to be going against the iguanas. Then this says each star ocelot places 1 fortification on its place. So there is 1 star ocelot, and it is going to be fortified in its space right there. Okay, so we've completed this one. Those go away. And now this is 6.9. This is 9.7. It says resolve the right half first. Each circle iguana moves 1 space forward. So the leader moves 1 space forward. If toucans are secretive, which they are, they were secretive here. If toucans are secretive, they lose another motivation. So they're at 9 motivation. And then we do the right half. It says each iguana in this group and each enemy within 1 space to any of them takes a wound. Interesting. This is a sacrificial move. So it looks like these iguanas are, I don't know, about hurting themselves? I'm not sure. Each iguana in this group and each enemy within 1 space takes a wound. So there's only 1 iguana in this group. It is the circle group. And it has taken a wound. The leader does have 8 health that it can take. So still has 7. Interesting round there. Okay. And then we're going to move on here to the toucans. So if any toucan has taken a wound this round, they lose a motivation. None of the toucans have taken a wound. Otherwise, they gain a motivation. So they're going the wrong way. And then it says advance. Each circle toucan moves 1 space forward. These are the flying ones. They move 1 space forward. And then those get resolved. Okay. Uh, so that is their round. That's the army phase. And now we're going to do the status phase. And we're just checking to see if motivation is in the green for both of them. It is not in the green for both of them. So we will continue with the next round. Now, before we do that, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I didn't even set up the scene here. So sorry about that. I did read it on my own before play, but let's actually get into the scene. Spoilers, I'll go ahead and say that. If this is a game that you are interested in, there are scenarios prior to this. This is scenario 4. I don't feel like the spoilers are really that bad, but if you kind of want to look at this on your own, maybe stop watching the video at this point. So, scenario 4. An ancient oasis stood in the desert. Amid the arid plateaus and treacherous chasms, it was an ample well of life, almost a miracle, in more ways than one. As the sands of time shifted, it proved vitally important for the folks living in the area, teaching them to share, coexist, and to cooperate. Nowadays, the oasis stood upon neutral land between green iguanas and Toko toucan territories, as neither had seen fit to claim it for themselves alone. Both of their flags adorned the structure. It had once brought them together, but now it stood between them and their blades pointed at each other. The fearful iguanas were the ones who had started the hostilities. After their secretive neighbors' rapid rise in power, a majority of their tribe seers declared it the doomsaying lizards. 107th inevitable downfall. They should attack before the conspiring toucans could betray them. Better face your doom with your tail held high than between your legs. As for the toucans, they saw for themselves a future too bright for their pessimistic neighbors to shroud. They would fight for it, their land, and even access to the old oasis with everything they had. Such a conflict would have been messy, even if the iguanas hadn't sought the aid of mercenaries. The ones who accepted the offer were the infamous Scarlet Tails and their leader, Captain Washira, the self-proclaimed visionary of a chaotic future. He who never falls, and if he does, is always on his feet. So then you have a little bit of reading of the actual characters. So the polecat here, Hup Tui, that scoundrel Washira is reliable as my old hat. Goes where the wind blows, or for the throat given half a chance. Drags you down if it blows too hard south. At times I wonder how many lives that cat's gone through already. I've always liked him. And then you've got the lizard. Am I seeing things, or are they bearing Sakawa banners? Those unscrumptious mercenaries will drag the Ocelot Nation into this mess too if we don't stop it. But we must pace ourselves carefully. There will be a lot to keep track of in the coming chaos. You've got the bird. Still, we should watch the iguanas closely. A fascinating folk. Their fear of doom makes them even sacrifice themselves to lash out against it, and resilient. I have seen a few reappear out of nowhere when I thought them gone. Speaking of, where's Akazan? Then you have the fox here. Here, pulled some strings to request audiences with all 3 big shots. Whenever one seeks our counsel, I say we jump in like frogs. I bet Nabo's hat that even Jatira of the Toucans will cave eventually. Looks like everyone could use a friend right now. So the scenario here, this is a 2 out of 5 difficulty. Scenario rules before starting, we had to shuffle in some cards into the resource deck. It talks about the motivation, which I mentioned, and then it just talks about secrets. So that is the actual scenario. All right, we're going to move on to round 2 here. So here are our new cards. Those are both for the Fennec Fox. And here we have some for the lizard and the fox. So, I say we just keep on doing what we're doing, surveying, trying to figure out what these people are doing. Maybe go into the iguanas. So maybe have the fox move into the iguanas and start seeing what their orders entail. And then just kind of stay in here on the toucans, and maybe we can start looking at their stuff. This right here allows you to move a nearby unit 1 space backwards. So whoever I'm on there, that nearby unit would go 1 space backwards. Both of those cards are the same here. This one is all units of a nearby army gain +2 defense, +3 for this round, because I'm the fox. And then this one is... Ooh, this is actually a scenario 4 card. So this is Chamu's invitation. This is the leader. If the leader is nearby, draw 3 cards from one iguana deck, place them back face up in any order. I like that. I actually like that quite a bit. I think we're going to try to do that. So we'll play this card for a movement plus a draw a card. And he's going to move here. And then this one is remove up to 2 wounds from a nearby unit. We don't need to do that. We're going to use it as a movement plus a card. So he's going to move in there. He is nearby. Discard any card from a nearby army. Those would play well together. Okay, so now we're going to play this one for the scheme. So if the lizard leader is nearby, draw 3 cards from one iguana deck, place them back face up in any order. So which deck should we go for? Let's do this deck here. We're going to draw 3 cards and place them back in any order. Okay, so this is resolve. Do not resolve the right half. They lose a motivation. That is a good one to keep in mind. We have egoistic, of course. If the Ocelot's side has the highest motivation, they gain, or the highest, motivation, they gain a motivation. If they have the lowest motivation, they lose it. So we don't want this one to come next because the Ocelots are with the toucans and they're at 10, and the lizards are at 9. So we probably want that one at the end or right after this one, possibly. And then unexpected says roll the dice until you roll a group with an ocelot on the map. Replace the right half's group icon. Okay. I think we go with revoked. They're going to lose a motivation. I think that is going to be their face-up card here. Because if they lose a motivation, then the next one that I'm putting is if they have the highest, they gain a motivation. Otherwise, they lose a motivation. So even if they're tied, they would possibly lose a motivation then. Okay, so then with the polecat over here, I don't really care to move them backwards. So let's survey, which gives me a card. And let's survey this one here. So this is another advance card. Each circle toucan moves 1 space forward. Ian, you can send me an invite. Yeah, I'll be up for that. I've played that game once before. I think I'll play it. It'll obviously be later tonight once I get to it. This one is again moving them backwards. This one would move them forwards. Oh, this is moving the circle ones. I don't necessarily want to move it back just yet. Let's... Hold on. Let me see what I did here. I completely messed up on this card. We're going to have to go back here. We're going to shuffle these cards because you're supposed to draw from the lizard deck, not the ocelot deck. I screwed that up. Oops. Let me, we'll go back. Shuffling these up. So we need to do the lizard deck. So let's draw these 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have doomed. For each defeated ally, each iguana in this group gains 1 attack and 1 defense, so we don't have any defeated allies yet. Regenerating. If there are defeated iguanas, place a random one on its starting space with 3 wounds. Toucans lose a motivation. That's interesting. So we kind of do want some of them to die off. And then sacrificial again. Resolve the right half first. Each iguana in this group and each enemy with 1 space takes a wound. I don't know which one we want first. There are no defeated iguanas. Maybe this will do something to try to defeat them. Let's do nope. We don't want regenerating. I guess let's do sacrificial first. And then possibly regenerating. No, we'll do regenerating at the end. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Sorry about that. Messed that up. Got that cleared up. These have been shuffled, so I don't know what's coming up. Let's see. So we can do this one would let me survey again and draw a card. So let's play that. I'm going to survey the toucans again, and we'll survey this card. It says, if secretive, lose a motivation, otherwise gain a motivation. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. They're gaining tons of motivation. So this is what we could do. With our fox, we could move twice, get on the same spot as the toucan, and then play this, which is discard any one card from a nearby army. So we could discard this card here. I think that's probably what we're going to do. So we're going to play this one for 2 movement. 1, 2. Then we will go ahead and play this one. And we're going to discard this card here. You know what? Before we do that, we're actually going to delegate it to the polecat. So we're going to give it to the polecat. And then the polecat actually can do 2 cards from a nearby army. So let's discard this one. And then, ooh, hold on. I have an idea. Instead of that, let's discard this card here, because then it is a secret one. And then this actually makes sense for them to be arrogant, because they will be secretive, so they would lose one. So yeah, we're just going to do that. We're not going to discard 2 cards. We'll just discard the 1. So that is what we're doing there. And then I think we're just going to hold on to these cards until the next round. So I think we are good. We're going to refresh. We're going to draw 4 more cards. We'll go ahead and give 3 to the Fennec Fox here. And we'll take 1 over here. Army phase. So now it is time for the armies. So let's flip this one over. Let's flip these ones over. Ooh, look at that. Okay, and then this one over as well. So we're going to start off with the highest initiative. This is 5. Oh, well, actually, so this is toucans are secretive. Right. So then this card is the actual one that's on top. So this is 8.6, this is 1.2, and this is 5.1. So this is going to go first. So it says, if secretive, lose a motivation. They are secretive. They're back where they started. Otherwise, gain 1, which they're not going to be doing. And then we have cover here. So each star toucan gains +2 defense for the round. So they gain +2 defense for the round. If secretive, they lose another motivation. There we go. And they attack. All of them attack. So how does attacking work? Well, we have their stats right here, and our star ones are these here. So they have a range of 2, and they have an attack of 3. So each of them is going to do some sort of attack. Now, this one is actually the only one that can attack anybody. and he's going to attack straight ahead because there is 2 there. Now there's 2 people in that space, and they always attack the one with the least health. So that is actually the leader, and it will attack for 3. Let me double check. There's no fortifications or anything there. So all 3 is going to attack it. We need to start clearing some wounds on this leader, or else they will die. And then they will lose all their motivation to fight and surrender. So that is half of its life gone. The other star is 3 spaces away, so it cannot attack it. And then the other one, again, is 3 spaces, so it cannot attack. Those ones are circles, not stars. So each star toucan gains +2 defense. If secretive, -1, which we already did. So we did that. Okay. Now we have the iguanas with a 5.1 initiative. It says resolve the right half first. Each gear iguana attacks. So that is this one and this one are going to do some attacks. The geared iguanas have a range of 2 with attack of 3. So this one will attack this one for 3. Uh-oh. And then this one will attack this one for 3. And let me just check. Okay, nothing there. This is the one annoying part of this game is there are some symbols on the board. I don't know if you can really see them, but like this right here, that shows that they are, I forget the word, but you can't attack them unless you are adjacent to them because they're hidden in all of these plants. This right here is a defense that is built into that space, and above that is a motivation that is built into that space. So if anything moves into that space, it gains a motivation plus a defense. Oh yeah, so each star one has +2 defense for this round. So this one is actually only going to take 1 damage. This one attacked, that one attacked, that one cannot reach that one. Okay, so that is, and then each iguana in this group and each enemy within 1 space to any of them takes 1 wound. So each geared iguana takes a wound. This one takes a wound. And then any enemy within 1 space takes a wound, and none of them are within a space. Immune to damage or attack. What do you mean there, Ken? Not sure. The defense for the round is just how much they're blocking. So here, each star toucan gains 2 defense for the round. So the lizards are doing 3 damage. It's going to defend 2 of them just for this round. And then we're doing the ocelots. It says do not resolve the right half. They lose a motivation. So that goes down. All right. End of the army phase. We check to see if they're in this green zone. None of them are. So we continue to the next one. That was a pretty solid round. We did get them down quite a bit on motivation. We got them down 3 bumps on their motivation. So that was good. The iguanas have a lot of damage done to them. Anytime one of them gets defeated, they do lose a motivation, but a horror card gets added into the resource deck. If the leader does die, though, that is the end of it, I believe. I think even for this scenario, even though they refresh, but I think for this scenario, they lose as well. Yeah, I think so. Just double check here. Unit attack. Yep, we've got all that. Army phase. They always attack. Yep. Either side motivation is 0. You lose. If the unit was a leader or the side's last unit, lower the motivation directly to 0. Yeah, so if a leader is defeated, it is directly to 0. Oh, Ken, no, this one it's more like a stealth. That's what it is. It's stealth. So if they're in here, the range has to be 1. So yeah, this one here, this circular toucan cannot attack this one because this one is stealthy, and it would have to be in this spot. It would have to be adjacent to it for him to be able to see him. So that is what that small symbol is. There's one here also. Okay. That is that. Not secretive anymore. Good. Flip these cards. And starting back up at the top. So I feel like we do need to start removing some wounds. So I have a card here that will allow me to remove some wounds. But I do have to be, I guess I could delegate it to the fox and then the fox can walk over there. And then this is all units gain shield. Flip the topmost card face up from any army deck. Don't have to be nearby for that. This is for each defeated ally. Each iguana in this group gains a strength and 1 defense. So we have no defeated allies. So it's not going to gain any strength or any defenses. Nearby's armies next order is resolved by their star group. Nearby's army's next order gains +5. So we might want to start checking what this ocelot one is, because if they're the highest, we can actually see here. Yep, we don't need that one. They do have a card. I know this first one was that, so that means they might have another one if it's the highest. So that might be good to play. Move any one card from a nearby army to any other position. Okay, we need to start removing some wounds first of all. So let's go ahead and move. Let's give this card to the fox. We're going to move the fox 2 spaces. Into the space with the leader. And then it's going to remove 2 wounds. Okay, now while it's there, we'll keep that there for now. This polecat says flip the topmost card from any deck. I kind of want to flip the ocelots. I don't know what they're going to be doing. They haven't been doing much, but from what I've been seeing, they're sort of chaotic. Or at least that's what all the reading says. Let's do that. We're going to flip the topmost from the ocelots here. It says roll the die until you roll a group with the ocelot. This replaces the right half's group icon. Okay, so I'll explain that when we get there. That was not exactly what I wanted. All units of a nearby army gain +2 for the round. Let's do that. We're going to play this card on the toucans. So that means all the toucans this round are going to have +2 defense. And then let's scheme for our lizards here, or survey our lizards. Let us do this one. Each gear iguana gains 2 defense for the round. Probably should have done that first instead of this one. That's okay. Already did it. You wish there's a fantasy version of this. Yeah, I could see that. That could be doing pretty well. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this is in the same universe as Lands of Gowser and Dale of Merchant Explorers, where they just have these animal folk. So I personally like it. I think it's really cool. This is actually, they're not calling it a second edition, but it's like a re-implementation of the first game. The first one was called Dawn of Peacemakers. And I don't know much about it. Honestly, haven't looked into it, but I believe they streamlined this version a little bit more. Okay, so I think we're good where we're at. We're just going to see what the rest of the cards bring. So we need to draw new cards. We'll go ahead and give 2 over here and 2 over here. We need to do the army phase, so we're going to flip all this stuff. Ooh, look at that. Do not resolve the right half. Awesome. This card has been wasted, but that is okay. This one goes here. 6.4, 1, and then 5.2. So 6.4 goes first. For each defeated ally, there is no defeated allies. Each geared iguana gains +2 for the round, +2 defense. So they're there. The ocelots are next. Roll the die. So here we actually have a gear on the die. Different numbers have different symbols. So that's the circle. That one is the star. But we got a gear. So the geared ocelot, this one right here in the back, is going to attack, prioritizing the enemy leader. So if the enemy leader takes no wounds, they lose a motivation. So it's going to try to go for the leader up there. It does have a range of 3. So it actually is going to make it. 1, 2, 3. Now, yep, each geared iguana has 2. Okay, so it does get that leader. That is not good. It is going to do 3 damage to the leader. The leader is now sitting at 5. I don't like that. The leader has 8 health. That was terrible. Did not like that one bit. Okay. Enemy leader did take wounds, so they do not lose a motivation. Okay. And then we have this one. Do not resolve the right half. They lose a motivation. And both of these go away. Not the best there. We need to protect this leader. We need to start giving him some fortifications, I guess, is really what we need to do. Or help him move away. Try to clear some wounds. So give up to 2 wounds to a nearby unit. Yeah, we don't need that. If there are defeated iguanas, place a random one on its starting space with 3, and the toucans lose a motivation. Toucans are losing a lot of motivation. We need to start getting the iguanas to lose motivation. How do we do that? Okay. Flip the topmost card, face up from any army deck. 2 wounds. This card goes away. Carrier pigeon, draw a card, give it to somebody, flip the topmost card, face up from any army deck. First thing that we're going to do, we are going to place a fortification on this spot and draw a card. We got the same card. We're going to do it again. We're going to place a fortification and draw a card. Nice. Perfect. Okay, this actually says this is exactly the card that we needed. This is a scheme. It says choose 1 nearby unit, move them 1 space backwards. So this one will move 1 space backwards. Now, unfortunately, this fortification does not move with them because we fortified the space. but all of his wounds do. But now it is stealthy. It's back in the cactus and pines or whatever you want there. So the only way it can be attacked is if there's something adjacent to it. Okay. Yes, Trevor, playing two-handed here. I like playing this one two-handed just because you get to see more cards. And playing as one character, it's really hard to go from this unit to that unit to this unit, so on and so forth. So I have found this one to be a little bit better two-handed or multiplayer. But as we've mentioned before, and as Devin mentioned on his stream, him and I are a little bit of alpha players or alpha gamers quarterbacks. So we generally aren't the best at letting other people do their moves. So playing two-handed is a good way to do it. Okay. Let's start looking at some orders here. If there are multiple defeated iguanas, use a dice to roll it. Okay. Let's see what this toucan's going to do here. Place one secret from both toucan discard piles face down on top of their respective deck. Interesting. Place one secret from both discard piles face down on top of their deck. Huh. Okay. Not sure how I feel about that. Nothing wrong with that. I tend to play this true solo, but it can lack the confusion of not having the right cards. Yes, I agree with that. I've every time that I've been playing it, I've tried to switch off the characters just so that I can get different abilities. I'm feeling this game right now. I'm seeing a lot of the bird, and I kind of wish I had the bird. But that's okay. Honestly, the polecat is my favorite. That's who I am in Gowser. I don't know. I'm just drawn to it for some reason. So that one always seems to be in play. But I've been kind of switching off from there. What ale do you have there? Oh, this is not ale. This is actually some magnesium. I just like to drink it hot. It actually kind of, it's supposed to be nice for calming you down. So just kind of drinking that right now. Warm it up, kind of like a hot tea. So kind of keep the throat coated a little bit. Okay, so we've done that here. Trevor, have you played this scenario before? I have not. This is my first time playing it. And these iguanas, they're vicious creatures. Okay, what am I doing here? This one is move and draw a card. Flip the topmost card face up from any army's deck. That might be good. You've played the first three. Okay, so this is number 4. So number 3 was that the one with the toucans? No. Number 3 was the speckled bears and the toucans that were scared of heights. That was a really cool one. I like that one. That was fun. Okay. I think we're going to move and draw a card. So we'll just move up here. No, we'll move here. And draw a card. Draw one card from the resource. Yep. Okay. I'm kind of thinking maybe just build some fortifications here. Yeah. I think we'll just hold on to this for now. 2 was good. The cannon made it interesting. Yeah, that cannon was just rolling the dice and seeing what gets attacked. That was pretty funny. I liked it. I'm liking all of the scenarios so far. They seem different enough. Flip the topmost from any army's deck. Let's see what these ocelots are doing. Just because, I don't know, we don't want them to hurt us again. So let's actually see what they're doing here. Ooh. This card is called Chaos. It says, roll the die. You may re-roll once if any adventure is nearby the ocelots. There's no adventure near the ocelots. 1 to 4, the gears, space move 1 forward, fortification, Ocelots attack for a 7 to 10, 11 to 12. They lose a motivation and then they switch sides. Okay. Well, there's not much else we can do. I mean, we could survey this card. I don't think it's going to do much, so we're just going to go ahead and end there. We will refresh our cards. Go ahead and give 2 here and 2 here. And then we will go ahead and do the army phase. Okay. All right. This is 2.1. This one needs to roll the die, and it is an 8. So this is 12.8. And this one is 2. Let's see this here. This one's 5.6. Okay. So 5.6. So this one is going first. If this order's number is that, ignore the right half this. So this is 8. This is 5.6. This is 2.2. If this order has the highest, they lose a motivation, and then the ocelots switch sides. So now the ocelots are going to turn to the toucans. This is okay, because if we roll an 11 or 12, then that means that the iguanas lose a motivation because they are now allied with the iguanas. But we need an 11 or 12. Oh, look at that. Got it. 12. Liked it. So they lose a motivation. But now they're actually back with the toucans. They just said, what? You guys suck. Let me go back, and we're fighting against you now. How do you do that to us? That was nice. Okay, that was some chaos going on there. Okay, so now we have 5.6, so that is going next. It says place 1 secret from both toucan discard piles face down on top of their respective decks. So this will go here. This will go here. And then we have each star toucan gains +2 for the round. If secretive, they are secretive, they lose a motivation. And then each star toucan attacks. Okay. So each star toucan attacks. The stars have a range of 2. It's going to be attacking this one. It's going to try to do 3 damage. It can only do 1 because of these fortifications. And that will go there. Okay. This goes down. This goes here. Now, here is the... here's a little bit of a problem that hopefully... Well, let's finish this up first. If there's defeated iguanas, there is none. Each geared iguana attacks. So the geared iguana, it is actually going to attack this ocelot. And so the geared iguana does 3 damage. It's going to do 3 to this ocelot. Okay. And then this geared iguana attacks this one for 3 damage. Ooh, and this is where not so good. This toucan can only take 4 damage, and it just took 4 damage. So we have had our first casualty of war. So this one is dead. Goodbye. So it actually is defeated. It's not dead. It is defeated. It's going to come off here. It's going to hold on to this, or it's going to go on this spot. It is going to lose a motivation. So the toucans here, they're actually now going to, you know what, Ken, you said something, you reminded me. there is the Discord link in the chat. Thanks for reminding me. So now the toucans are in this green space. We can't let them lose much more motivation because then they're just going to give up. They're going to surrender. And this toucan is almost dead also. The iguanas have 8 motivation. They have a long way to go. So we don't want the toucans to lose much more motivation. So with that being said, this guy was defeated. The horrors of war, we add a horror card on top of the deck, and we get to see it next round. Okay, we look to see if both armies are at peace or ready to resolve peace. Only one army is ready. They've been getting the beat down, and the iguanas are saying, not yet, not yet. Let's continue. So let's see what we have. I feel like we need to get the ocelots back with the iguanas. We need to start fortifying up the toucans. This lets me, oh, perfect. Okay. So this card actually, ooh. Let's hold off on this. Let's do this first. Let's build a nearby's army. Next order is resolved by their gears or star group if any such unit is on the map. Well, they don't have that unit. So we're going to go ahead and fortify this space. Okay. I kind of want to play this card. It lets me... Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. I don't want to play this for fortification. I want to play this as remove up to 2 wounds from a nearby unit. So we're going to remove these 2 wounds from that unit. At this point, we actually want to defeat some iguanas because anytime they get defeated, their motivation does start going down. We do start adding horror cards, but we do need that motivation to go down a little bit. So let's... Let's scheme these iguanas. Ooh, okay. I like that. So this says each circle iguana attacks. They can't do anything. The circle ones are so far back they can't do anything. But it does say if the toucans are secretive, they lose a motivation. So the toucans are secretive. So they will be losing a motivation. So that is good. Okay. I think we're good. I really don't know what else to do here. We're okay if the ocelots attack because they'll be attacking the iguanas. We don't want the ocelots to lose motivation in any way because then the toucans lose motivation. So we don't want that. Unfortunately, let's just go ahead and scheme here. Okay, and oh, I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. I should not have been able to do that. I am not nearby them, so I could not have done that. So we'll go ahead and just flip from there. This is where we're at. Okay, I've finished my turn. And we will flip these order cards. These secret toucans over here. No, we don't need the ocelots to lose motivation. We need them to lose motivation. Okay. Oh no, that's toucans lose motivation. but that's okay. We are at 8.8. They are secretive this round. The toucans are secretive this round. So this gets flipped. This goes down. And this one gets flipped here. Ugh, dang it. This is not good. Okay, so this is 6.3, 8.8, 2.2. So we're going to start here. The ocelot. So roll a number. So the circle ones are going to be over here. So roll another number. If any adventure is nearby any ocelot. Oh, if you can reroll. 11. That is not what we need. Oh, man. Okay, so this is going to go down. The ocelots are going to switch side. They're going back with the iguanas. I don't like that. Okay. Now we have the toucans at 6.3. If they're secretive, they're going to lose a motivation. They're at 1 motivation. They're about to give up in this fight, which we don't want them to do. Then it says each star toucan attacks. The star toucans have a range of 3. So they can attack. Both of them can attack. So that's actually going to kill off a lizard here. So this one will take 3 damage. That leaves it at 5. It is defeated, so they lose a motivation and gain a horror card. And then that star one at the top attacks that one. It does reach it. It does 3 damage to it. Oh, I'm wrong. It has a range of 2, not 3. So they don't attack. They do not attack. Okay, yep, they do not attack. My bad. I thought it was a range of 3. It's a range of 2, so they don't reach them. Okay. Now 2. Defending iguanas, place a random one in its starting space. Yep, there is no defeated ones. Strike. Each circle iguana strikes. It does not reach anything. It cannot reach anything, I don't think. Actually, it can. It can reach this ocelot. Nope, they're allied with the iguanas now. If toucans are secretive, which they were, these lose a motivation. So we're at 7 here, and we're at 1 here. Okay. This is rough. What do we do? Okay, they're ready for peace talks. They are not. We're just going to move on. Now, actually, at the end of that round, I should have passed out the cards already. So this one will be getting 3. This one will be getting 1. And then during the army phase, that's when this went in there. So you refresh your hand before the army phase. Okay. These get flipped over. The horror card. It says blood-stained banners. Roll the die. Each unit takes 1 wound. So each circle unit takes a wound. 1. How many does this guy have? Right, so their leader has 6. They have 4. 1 more and it dies. This one has 2. I'm going to say it doesn't take a wound. Well, no, it's a horror of war. It's got to take a wound. And then this one takes a wound also. Okay. A lot of blood-stained banners. All right, this card gets flipped over. These go away. We need these iguanas to lose some motivation. Okay. I think we need to fortify the toucans a bit. I think that's what we do. This one lets me... Oh, let's see. This is a scenario 4 card. If Jatira... Which one is Jatira? Jatira is the leader of the toucans. If Jatira is nearby, draw 3 cards from one toucan deck, place them face up in any order. We can make him nearby. Let's do that. So we're going to move twice. And then we're going to draw 3 from a toucan deck, place them in any order face up. And might as well do these. So this is plus a motivation. If secretive iguanas lose a motivation, and ocelots ally with the toucans. Interesting. Look at that. Here's another +1. Same thing. And this is place 1 secret from both toucan discard piles face down on top of their respective decks. I like that. I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll put them just like this. Yeah, we're going to keep them just like this. So they are going to gain a motivation. It's not looking so great. Your peacemaking mission will need a miracle. I may have just gotten one. It's possible that my toucans gain 2 motivation, and my iguanas at least lose 1. Hopefully, we'll see. We're going to see what happens here. But yeah, my peacemaking, maybe not so good. Okay, let's see what these iguanas are going to do. Flip the bottommost card face up from a nearby army, place it on top or not. So let's see what this one is here. Do not resolve the right half, lower a motivation. Yep, you are getting revoked. Doing that. What are these ocelots going to do? Let's see. We're going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. I think that was 3, or here's one of those spaces. Doesn't matter, really. And then we're going to scheme. And we're going to see... What does it do here? Okay, ocelots are going to fortify. That's good. Okay, refresh. Let's give a horror to the Fennec Fox here. There's 2. There's 2. Now it's the army phase. Let's flip this over. Flip this over. Flip this over. It's terrible. Okay. So this is 4.3, 5.5, 5.7. This one is actually revoked, so it is at it is going to lose a motivation. So they don't do it. Now we're at 5.5. So if Ocelot's side has a higher motivation, they gain a motivation. So of course they are on the higher motivation, so they're going to gain a motivation. Terrible. Then they're going to fortify. The circle ocelots will fortify. I don't need you to fortify. I need you to die. I need you to be defeated. Okay. And then here, conspiring. So they're going to gain a motivation. So they're at 2. If secretive iguanas lose a motivation, we're not secretive right now. And ocelots ally with toucans. Each circle toucan attacks. Each circle toucan who attacked an enemy moves space backwards. So I believe they can all attack. So how they do it here is they go for the one directly in front of it. So this is 2 spaces. This one is actually stealthy, so it cannot attack that one. And then we go to this one. Actually, this is the one that's in front of it, the closest. So this is the one that we're going for. It is going to attack 3. Yep, 3. There is a fortification here, so it removes 1, and then it does 2 damage. I'm going to need some more damage tokens here. And then this one attacks, and it's going to attack this one also. And it's going to do 3 damage to it, which actually kills it. Yep, it's going to kill it. Defeat it. So it goes here. All right, so since it was defeated, it's going to lose a motivation, and a horror is going to be added onto the deck. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. All right, are both sides ready to negotiate? Nope. Toucans still. They're still ready. Iguanas are not. And then the ocelots are just like, whatever. We'll see what happens. So that was 5.5, and then that was this one. Each one who attacks moves 1 space backwards. Okay, so at least they're kind of out of range right now. Except for this one can attack them still. But they're, for the most part, sort of out of range. Okay. Flip it over. Let's shuffle the Ocelots deck. This is getting tight. We did have a horror come out that round, so we're going to have to settle that first. This card is nice. It says place 1 secret from both toucan card piles face down on top of their respective decks. So that is what we want for this next one, because if they are secretive, they're going to gain a motivation, and they're going to lose 1 for that. These go away here. Okay. So the start of the round, here is the horror card. Now, some of these horror cards, they have like a who it's going to affect here. So this one is actually going to affect the polecat. This is a mental block. You can play at most 2 cards each adventurer phase. Discard this at the start of refresh if you've played no cards. So if we don't play any cards, we can discard it. Which actually, on this turn, I think I'm kind of okay with not playing any cards. Because I know what's going to happen here for the most part. They seem to be sort of out of the way. So we might just kind of keep that there. This is over here. It's with the ocelots. This is a food poisoning card. So it says give up to 2 wounds to a nearby unit. This cannot reduce the unit below 1 health. I don't think we need to do that here. This card does not have a survey on it, so can't really do much there. We could fortify the space. I don't really want to fortify the space because I'm okay with them taking some wounds. And then it says I can delegate it, but I'm not next to the polecat. I don't know. Maybe I move and gain another card. I'll just keep it for now. Place 2 fortifications. Flip the bottommost card from a nearby army. Discard any 1 card from a nearby army. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do much here. I think we're just going to let it ride. Yeah, I think we're going to let it ride. Let's hope that is okay. So this flips over. These flip over. I hate that card. Okay. All right. So this is 7.9, 5.2, 7.7. So 7.9 goes first. It says place one secret from both toucan discard piles face down on top of their respective decks. That is a secret one. This is a secret one. Then this says each star toucan moves one space forward. Yep, that sucks. Okay. So these go away. This is here. This goes away. And this is here. Okay. Yeah, so now we're going to go to the ocelots. No, I'm sorry. Now we're going to the iguanas, the card that I hated. It says, if ocelots are allied with iguanas, gain one motivation. Of course they're allied with the iguanas. They gain that motivation. Otherwise, the toucans lose one. Ocelots ally with the iguanas. Each geared iguana moves a space forward. What's even worse now is this iguana is going to move into this, I forget what they call it, like a temple. But on that temple, there is a motivation symbol. So it's actually going to gain a motivation for going up onto higher grounds. So it is gaining more confidence in itself, while I lose all of that confidence in myself. Okay, and then this one here is unexpected. Roll the die. The geared ocelot attacks, prioritizing the leader. It cannot reach the leader. So it's going to attack this one here. And it's going to do, where is it? The gear. It's going to do 3 damage. It's going to kill it. We're going to lose a motivation. We're at 1. We're going to add a horror card. I actually did not draw cards there, so let me do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this goes on there. If the enemy leader took no damage, they do lose a motivation, so they're back there. Okay, so that's semi-okay, I guess. Okay. And then we already did the toucans. I thought we were good. All right, the toucans are still ready to talk it out. These iguanas aren't. Okay. Back to the top. What do I need to do? We need to kill this iguana, because as soon as he gets off, they lose a motivation. But first, we have a horror from our deck. It's going to affect the Fennec Fox. This is Despair. After you resolve an action, return this face down on top of the resource deck. Discard this at the start of next refresh. Okay. Okay. So after you resolve an action, return this face down on top. It basically makes it to where you can't really draw any cards this round, any new cards. Flip the bottommost card from a nearby. I wish the fox had that. I'm kind of at a loss here. I can go here and give everybody 2 defense for this round. I think I'm going to do that. So the toucans will have 2 defense for the round. Kind of want to see what the iguanas are doing, so let's move twice towards the iguanas. This goes on top. While we're at these iguanas, let's scheme to see what they're doing. For each defeated one, they add an attack. Okay. I guess I could give them 2 wounds to hopefully try to kill them off soon. Could try that. So we'll give them 2 wounds. That lizard has 5 health. Okay. We can't scheme over here. Could do some fortifications. Discard any 1 card from a nearby army. Don't need that. Flip the bottommost card from a nearby army. Place 2 fortifications on any space. Well, they all have 2 for this round, so let's just go ahead and keep that for now. This will get discarded. We have 1, 2, 3. Let's just give this guy 3, and this one will have 3. The horror will be there. Okay. That is the end of my phase. We've done the refresh. Now it's the army phase. Give me something good. Well, I think I just lost the game. Let's see. Let's see what is going on here. So both of these are secretive, so these go away. This will stay there. This is going to shuffle. The iguana card that just came out says if toucans are secretive, they lose a motivation, not the toucans. Oh, no, that is good. That is good. Okay, never mind. I thought I had just lost. So this one gets flipped over, and this is what is there. Okay, so each, this is 8.9. That is the highest. So they gain a motivation. If secretive, the iguanas lose a motivation, and the ocelots ally with the toucans. So now they're at 2, they're at 6. Each circle toucan moves 1 space forward. Okay, done there. Shuffle this up. Next up, we have the iguanas. For each defeated ally, there is no defeated allies. Each circle iguana gains +2 for the rounds. If toucans are secretive, which they are, they lose a motivation. They're at 5. I'm getting very lucky, Trevor. Ocelots. If Ocelot side has a higher motivation, they do. If Ocelot side... Oh, no, it does not. So the Ocelots do not have a higher motivation. So we're going to lose 1. So the toucans are back at 1. Okay. Ocelots place a fortification on their space. The star one is dead, so it is gone. And this is gone. Okay. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. These toucans need a miracle. Okay. We need to, like, make these secretive things come up to get the iguanas to lose that motivation. We also need to shuffle our resource cards. Okay, there we go. We are set to go. Let's do this resources. Oh man, this is tight. This is the tightest game that I've had so far. So this is definitely up to the difficulty a little bit, trying to figure out 3 armies, with one of them being just this chaotic, I'm going to keep on switching sides, and whoever is winning, I'm going to make win even more. So let's flip these over. The horror card here, this is Amnesia. It's going to affect the polecat. Place 2 random cards from your hand face up under this. At the start of next refresh, return them into your hand. So I'm going to forget some stuff that I was doing here. Place 2 random cards from your hand face up under this. At the start of the next refresh, return them to your hand. Okay. So this says, if Washira is nearby, draw 3 cards from the Ocelot deck, place them in any order. We need to do that. So let's move to Washira. 1, 2. We're going to play this card, and we're going to draw 3 from the Ocelot deck. We don't need the Ocelots to lose motivation. So this is do not resolve the right half, lose a motivation. We don't need that. If this is the highest number, lose a motivation. All of these are the possible of losing a motivation. So that is not good. So we're going to put that here. Flip the bottommost card from a nearby armies deck. Place it on top. I'm not nearby anything. And I don't have any other cards. Who are you siding on, Uncle Paul? I'm a peacemaker, Ken. I'm siding with all sides. I don't want war to occur. I want to stop this war. And these dang iguanas are bloodthirsty. Well, unfortunately, I can't do anything because I'm not in a space with any of these toucans up there. So we're going to play it out and see what happens. Okay, so we are going to refresh now. So these come in here. Place 2 random cards at the start of the next refresh. Return them to your hand. 2, 3, 4. I don't know what just happened. I forgot what cards I had. I had amnesia. Oh, so these are actually facing this way now. Army phase. I like iguanas. I'm with them. Okay. Here we go. This is 2.1. This is whatever dice rolls. Come on, low number. 12. Nope. Well, I think that is the game. So surprise. So we roll it. This number is the highest. They're going to lose a motivation. They're going to switch sides. The Ocelot switch. We'll just kind of play it out here. This is 5.6. Place 1 secret from both toucan piles face down. We won't do that. Each starred toucan gains +2. If secretive, lose 1. They're not secretive. And then here we have 2.1. So this defeated iguanas. We don't have any defeated iguanas. Each geared iguana attacks. We don't need to do that. And that is the game. So now we check attack resolution. And unfortunately, the toucans have lost their motivation to fight. They have surrendered to the green iguanas. No. Oh, man. That was rough. That was a tough playthrough. That was hard. That was good. I really enjoyed this one. I thought the Ocelots added just enough, I'm going to say randomness, that it wasn't... I knew that they were going to be switching quite a bit back and forth. So randomness in a way that I didn't know when they were going to be switching. You know, it was pretty hard whenever they had cards like... if they have the higher one, they gain a motivation. Otherwise, they lose a motivation. That is going to be a card, a hard card to kind of go for. The toucans, the secretive, they were secretive quite a bit. I'm not sure exactly what I could have done with them. Maybe try to move them forward into these fortification spots a little bit more. The iguanas start off with more motivation, only 2 more motivation. They ended up having 5 more at the end, but I think that was, again, just because of those ocelots that kept on going back and forth with them. So yeah, that is Peacemakers, uh, the horrors of war. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this one. Trevor, I might have to give it a try true solo. I'm not sure if I would enjoy it as much. I do, like I said, I do like the fact that I can trade cards if I need to, or that I can spread out across the board. Honestly, I would like to try this at like 3 and 4 players. Obviously at that point you don't have, you're always going to be drawing 4 cards. So it's not like you're going to have more resources. The resources are just going to be more spread out. But it would be interesting to kind of just have one person with the iguanas, one person with the ocelots, one person with the toucans, whatever it may be. I think these order cards are really interesting, just the way that you can manipulate them. So again, this isn't a game of just trying to beat one side down. It's a team of trying to prevent that from happening. So your entire game is trying to manipulate these people or these factions into doing what you want them to do, which I find to be really interesting. It's a really interesting theme. I love the Fennec Fox. He pushes 2 guys on the same hex back with his 1 special. Yeah, I did notice that one. I think I might have actually gotten that one here. Yeah. So I got this one here. He gets to move some people back. Pushing 2 guys back is huge and preventing them. We got the 2 deaths here or from the toucans. Yeah, that was probably a bad move to not push them back. But also I had the fox on the side with the lizards a little bit more. And I didn't necessarily want to switch them. Again, probably could have, probably should have done that in the long run. The polecat, he does well. He actually, now that I'm talking about this, the polecat probably should have been on the side with the iguanas, because his special card, or one of his special cards, is called food poisoning, and he gives the units wounds. And so these lizards here, you kind of want them to be defeated, because whenever they get regenerated, they actually lose a motivation. So that might be the way to play it next time. Have kind of the fox on the side with the toucans, and then have the polecat on the side with the iguanas. And then the polecat just kind of feeding them bad food, right? Giving them food poisoning, and them coming down and maybe losing their own motivation that way. So that might be a good strategy. I think I'm going to try that out when I set this up again tomorrow and play it again, because I've already got it here and, I lost. So I need to avenge that loss here. But yeah, that is Peacemakers. Paul, you excited to use the zoom in action on Devin's camera? Yes. So we've been working on that for quite some time. And yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm glad that we finally figured it out. There was, anytime that I'm over there, we always record a video, we do a live stream, and then we generally try to play something afterwards. So I was there probably until 2:30 or 3 a.m. 2 weeks ago, or the last time I was there. And we thought we had it all figured out. We were pretty sure we had it all figured out. But again, it was so late that we weren't going to test it. So I'm glad that he actually did get it figured out. So very excited for that. And with that being said, we are going to be together on Friday. He will be back in town. And we're going to be streaming Explorers of the North Sea. This is another Garfield game, but it is one of the lighter Garfield games. This is a tile laying exploration style game where we're just going to be kind of exploring lands. So we'll be doing that on there. Dennis, thanks for the teach. I need to focus on First Empires or Kelly will win with First Empires. Is that... No, I'm thinking of Empire's End. I'm not sure which one First Empires is. Wait, is that the one with... No, that's after the Empire. There's so many games with Empire. I'm going to have to look up what First Empires is. Good luck. Do not let Kelly win. Hold it down. But yeah, so we will be streaming Explorers of the North Sea. So go ahead and check that out whenever we do that on Friday. Like Ken mentioned earlier in the stream, we did start a Discord server. We are playing games on BGA there. We are just talking games, posting pictures of games, all that kind of stuff. We do want to make that community grow. So if you have not joined that Discord, go ahead and do us a favor, join that. There's a little code there on the screen. In the description is the link to the Discord, and then I will post it here in the chat as well. We are going to be doing a monthly game night, so that's going to be in 2 weeks. I think I've got all the details planned. Again, I will put that all in the Discord whenever we've got it finalized. But that is it for me. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for sticking around. And going back to that Discord, this game was voted on our Discord for me to stream. So we're going to continue doing that. We'll probably do that for some Friday streams, some other Wednesday night streams. But that way you guys kind of have a say in the games that we play. There you go, Denise. I hope she heard that too. But other than that, that's all that I got. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night. See y'all later.